Hey everybody, I'm John Beilfuss, Executive Chef of Lula's Louisiana Cookhouse here in the heart of Owasso, Michigan. We are still closed due to coronavirus, and I'm still standing in the corner of my kitchen, sending out recipes to you and having a good time. Today we're going to do one of my very favorite pasta dishes, Pasta Fagioli or Pasta Fazool, pasta with beans. For a long time it's been one of our very favorite family meals, and I hope you enjoy it as well. And here's everything you're going to need to make it. I've chopped 1 medium onion, a Vidalia onion. I've got 4 ounces of guanciale. Guanciale is an Italian pig cheek bacon that's not smoked, it's just cured. It's delicious, it's my first choice for this. I make my own. You can also get this on Amazon, a brand called Volpi, V-O-L-P-I. It's wonderful. They send you a 4-pound log, you can keep it frozen, slice off a little bit as you need, it'll last forever. I have 5 garlic cloves that I've minced, a couple tablespoons of minced fresh rosemary. Remember, if you have dried rosemary, to only use about 1/3. I have 2 cups of white beans that I've soaked overnight and drained. Now you guys know the trick. If you don't have time to soak it overnight, or if you forget, you can put these in water, bring them to a boil, turn them off and let them sit an hour, and you'll be at about the same place. I have a 28-ounce can, whole Italian tomatoes, and I have a pound of ditalini pasta, my favorite for this. You could use any pasta. You could use penne or rigatoni and crack those up a little bit, break up regular spaghetti or thick spaghetti. You could use any pasta you want. This is the one that I prefer. The guanciale in this recipe, you can replace that with American ham, American bacon, if you've got pancetta or prosciutto, any of those things, just to give it a little bit of that meaty umami flavor. And you can totally omit the meat for a totally vegetarian dish. First thing I'm going to do is just add a little olive oil to a pot, just to get that guanciale or pancetta or ham or whatever you may be using, just to give it a little head start. Just going to saute that for a couple minutes. So this stay-at-home order is really affecting everything, and it's no fun. I get it. You know, it's taking me almost 3 minutes to blow dry my hair now. We've let that saute a couple minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add our onions. And we're going to saute this about 3 or 4 more minutes until the onions start to soften up, but not till they're brown, but just so they're starting to soften up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. So we've let that saute for about 4 minutes. It's just softening up the onions. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add our garlic and our rosemary. Just going to stir that around, let that saute just for a couple more minutes. Okay, that's been about 2 more minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and add our beans. With our beans, we want to add enough water just to cover them well. Say a couple inches. Now remember, whenever you're cooking beans, you don't add salt till the very end. It'll toughen up their skins. You don't want to do that. That's come up to a nice boil. I'm just going to give it a quick stir, make sure nothing's sticking. Turn it down to a low simmer and let it run for about, it should take about 2 hours to cook. It always depends on the beans. So I'll be checking them at about an hour and a half to see where they're at. But let's keep it on a low simmer, and we'll be back at you shortly. So, you know, we love Italian food, and in the mid-60s, late 60s, 68-ish maybe, one of my dad's very best friends, Sam Giordano, and his wife, Kay, asked us to come over to their house for dinner so we could have real lasagna. And, you know, my mom made the classic American lasagna, cottage cheese, probably off the side of a box somewhere, but it was delicious. The sides were all crunchy. It was awesome. So we went to somewhere in Detroit for real, all excited about real Italian lasagna. So, you know, beautiful home, beautiful people, lovely guests, or lovely hosts. And we sit down to dinner, and they put this platter out on the table of noodles, long, wide noodles with spaghetti sauce on them. And that was it. It was just noodles and spaghetti sauce. And they were delicious, but you know, being a polite family, we're like, oh, this is really good. It's nice to have, you know, authentic, real Italian lasagna. And we got in the car, and we're like, what was that? I mean, that was a lasagna, Mom. What was that? You know, but it was great. It was awfully kind of them to invite us over, and I think like 3 days later, Mom made her lasagna just to, you know, get us back on track. So that's been about an hour and a half, and I just check it, and I think those beans are done. So I'm going to go in with my next step with my tomatoes, and what I do, I always say this is Italian grandma style. You just break them up with your hands into the beans. When this is all done, I like to have some big chunks of tomatoes in it. And then we also add all the juice. We're going to stir that around, and we're going to go ahead and add our pasta. I'm going to bring that back up to a nice simmer and let it cook until the pasta is done, 10 to 12 minutes. At this point where you're putting in the tomatoes and the pasta, you could add anything you like. In the summer sometimes when I've got Swiss chard or kale, I can add that in. It gives a nice green to this dish as well. I think maybe later when I reheat this for dinner for Morgan and I've got a bunch of fresh spinach I may throw in. None of it's necessary. This is the standard basic pasta fagioli. But any of those add-ons won't hurt you a bit. And that's been about 10 minutes and that pasta's done. So now you want to go in and season with salt and pepper, give it a good taste, and plate it. Now to plate this, I'm going to give it a little drizzle, extra virgin olive oil. Nice topping of Parmigiano Reggiano. And just a little fresh parsley, just for a little bit of color. And there we have it. Hey, a couple notes on this recipe. So, like I told you, you can put spinach in later, kale, Swiss chard, all those types of things. Whatever meat or no meat, it's all awesome. One thing on the end of this recipe, when you put in that pasta, you know, you're going to serve it in 12 minutes, and this is what I'm thinking. But if you're not going to serve it, don't put the pasta in yet. Cook it, maybe if you're going to make it the day before, let it sit in the fridge, bring it back out, heat it up, add the pasta. Another thing I've done is cook the pasta separately and just add it to order so you can have the base in the fridge for the whole week, and your pasta keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So a couple ideas for you. Hey friends, thanks again for watching another exciting episode of Scratch Cooking with John. Totally unprofessional food videos. And I hope you come back for the next one. And I'm having just a ball doing them. Thanks so much for watching them. Yeah, yesterday I was going to do a Cinco de Mayo video with tacos or New Mexican green chili enchiladas or something, and I just didn't get to it. I drank margaritas instead. But I don't know why I think talking to my imaginary friend over here is a good idea.